Naku, usap-usapan ho ngayon sa mundo ng social media yung naging sagutan nitong si Senator Risa Hontiveros at nitong si Senator Pia Cayetano. Pero bago ho yan, isang like at isang subscribe. Masaya na ho tayo dyan. At sa mga gusto sumali sa ating community, yung join button na dyan lang ho sa baba. Ayun na nga, viral ho ito. No? Talagang itong si Senator Risa, pinipilit ho niyang makipagtalo sa mga abogado. Itong si Senator Risa, di natin malaman kung anong trip nitong si Senator Risa Hontiveros. Anyway, nandyan na yan. Linampaso ho siya ni Senator Pia dito sa video na to, pero kailangan ho natin maiatid sa ating mga kababayan kung ano nang nangyayari sa ating Senado. Kasi ho, yung impeachment trial na yan, may katiting na kabutihan na maidudulot sa ating mga kababayan, wala hong maihahatid yan. Ito, nakita ho tayo, dyan siya naging debate nitong si Senator Pia at nitong si Senator Risa Hontiveros. Game!
Committee amendments from this representation, I would be ready to circle back to the proposed amendment of Senator Pia if she wishes to
This
take
is
the
on
floor
page,
again.
which page? Good sponsor?
Page 3, Section 2.
Page 3, Section 2. Okay. Which is actually the meat of the
Yes.
bill. Yeah.
So actually, Mr. President, dear sponsor, I don't have any more amendments here. It's more of, I would like us to be able to put on record how will the hospitals be paid for the expenses of the indigent patients. If the body will recall, during our last discussion, I had put on record that the amounts could be quite substantial. And let me just grab my notes. So I included in the discussion the concept of the zero balance billing, which was part of the SONA 2 years ago, and if I'm not mistaken, reiterated this SONA, because the zero balance billing in its perfect form would mean that there is no longer any balance that will be paid when a patient is discharged. So wala na siyang babayaran. Yun yung talagang utopian concept ng zero balance billing. But upon clarification, this was last year, the DOH came out with the policy that the zero balance billing will only apply to DOH hospitals.
DOH hospitals. Hindi siya lahat.
Yes,
no?
Mr. President. If
Sorry,
not-
I'll just complete. Is it okay?
sorry. Good,
So just to
gently.
complete, it only, the zero balance billing only applies.
Masyado hong excited na sumagot itong si Senator Risa. Anyway, kailangan ho itong marinig ng ating mga kababayan kung ano nga ba itong pinagtatalunan nila na zero billing na yan. Zero billing, zero, ano man yung zero na yan. Ang na-zero yung flood control
To DOH hospitals and specialty hospitals. And that number's 91 yan. 87 DOH hospitals plus 4, tama ba? Plus 4 specialty hospitals, 91. And yet, our total number of hospitals is around 1,000. So, wala pang 10% yung mga ospital na pwedeng puntahan ng mga tao para maka-avail ng zero balance billing. So I'm simply presenting the reality on the ground na pagpunta doon ng pasyente at nag-expect siya ng wala siyang kakayanan magbayad, and Her Honor has included in the discussion a very important segment of the population, yung financially incapacitated, na iba pa sa indigent. Talagang nangangailangan yan. Maraming middle class na namumulube dahil sa presyo dahil sa nagkasakit. Mahal nga magkasakit. So I'm very happy naman na we recognize the need of those who are actually nga financially capable pa nga yan pero mamumulubi ka talaga. So lahat naman tayo nagkakaintindihan dyan. It's not a point of contention. Ang gusto ko lang ilagay natin sa record, and off the record kasi nabanggit naman ng sponsor that she can present the numbers which I believe came from the Senate President, which I believe came from me. So
And from
I think
PIDS,
we-
Mr. President.
I think we know these numbers naman. Pero pakita naman natin sa tao kung ano to. Kasi hindi naman ako nag-invento niyan. Galing po yan sa PIDS, no? Yung ating kinikilalang think tank. Sa kanila nang galing yan kung magkano gagastusin, magkano ang annual na gastos natin sa mga nagkakasakit na kailangan mag-ospital, ma-ospital. Would you like to be the one to put it on record, Your Honor?
It's all right, Mr. President. First of all, we are not forcing private hospitals into a zero balance billing arrangement. This bill does not create zero balance billing in private hospitals. Hindi po niya ine-extinguish yung mga unpaid balances. Pinoprohibit lang talaga yung detention o kaya withholding on the ground of non-payment. So for the record, hospitals may still collect unpaid lawful charges through promissory notes, lawful security, guarantee letters, assignments where allowed by law, and civil remedies. Ngayon po, going to yung data no na inestimate ng Philippine Institute for Development Studies at nakuha nating lahat mula sa Office of the Senate President. Ito po nagpo-provide ng data sets covering indigent inpatient claims from 2024 to 2026. Pero at the outset pa lang, Mr. President, disclaimer kaagad, hindi po dapat ito tignan na fiscal cost of the bill. Kasi hindi po natin pinapa-automatic guarantee sa gobyerno lahat ng unpaid bills ng ating mga pasyente o ating mga pamilya who would otherwise be detained in hospitals, clinics, or like facilities dahil hindi pa nila mabayaran yung kanilang bill or kanilang buong bill. Because after yung whatever, kung mayroon man na mabayaran ng pasyente at pamilya niya, magka-come into play hindi lang itong mga nasa data ng PIDS, pero lahat ng medical assistance programs ng iba't ibang government agencies as governed by each of their criteria at saka conditions kung qualified ba o hindi yung pasyente at pamilya niya sa particular na assistance na iyon. And in the end, kapag may balanse pa, collectible pa rin ito on the part of the hospital at pwede pa rin niyang habulin ang balancing ito including through civil proceedings. Basta ang importante po ay makakamit yung unang layunin ng kasalukuyang batas at layunin pa rin, primary objective pa rin nitong amendatory bill natin na ang pasyente o pamilya niya ay hindi nadidetain. So, tinignan pa rin po namin sa office ko yung data mula sa PIDS, yung data sets ginamit para i-compute yung gross residual billing gap. Again, hindi po ina-assume na nire-represent nito yung amount na actually collected from the patient. Likewise, hindi po dapat i-assume na nire-represent nito yung actual out-of-pocket expenditures. And again, it should not be construed na ang national government na ang automatic guarantor. Kasi yung guarantee letter accepted in lieu of a promissory note, again, hindi niya ginagawang guarantor ang gobyerno sa buong balanse. There will still be those three components. Kung ano yung kahit konti or minsan wala, mabayaran ng pasyente at pamilya niya, tapos yung iba't ibang medical assistance programs ng iba't ibang government agencies. And kung may balanse, recoverable pa rin ang ospital, including through civil proceedings. So would the gentle lady like me to put the numbers on the record? Because I can do that. If she will bear with me.
I think we should
All
because we can now have a clearer discussion kung ano
All
yung
right.
ma-expect ng mga tao pag they're confronted with this situation na na-hospital sila tapos gusto nilang ma-discharge. So lagay natin sa record yan, Madam Sponsor.
All right. But again, Mr. President, just with that disclaimer na ito yung magiging exposure ng gobyerno kung yung buong balanse na hindi mabayaran ng pasyente at pamilya niya ay sasaluhin ng gobyerno, which is not the case. So again, I just want to put that on record na wag nating isipin na ang hindi mabayaran ng pasyente at pamilya niya ay babayaran lahat ng gobyerno. Masasubject pa rin
Sino magbabaya? Si Enriza naman. Para saan ba yung batas?
to the requirements at criteria ng bawat medical assistance program
Okay.
ng bawat government agency. At sa huli, kung may balanse pa, obligasyon pa rin ng pamilya at pasyente, collectible pa rin on the part of the hospital. So, government as guarantor means the potential budgetary obligation that may arise when DOH, DSWD, PCSO, or other government medical assistance programs issue or honor guarantee letters for qualified, indigent, or financially incapacitated patients covering the unpaid balances of hospital bills after Mr. President, that PhilHealth benefits, discounts, patient payments, kung mayroon, HMO or insurance payments, charitable deductions, and other applicable benefits have been applied. So again, yung ipuput on record ko ngayon ay for purposes lamang of estimating fiscal exposure. Again, it does not mean that the automatic full payment of the entire hospital bill. It does not also mean zero balance billing. It does not include amounts already covered by PhilHealth, private insurance, HMO, patient payment, hospital discount, or charity write-off. It also does not include payments who are not assessed and qualified under applicability eligibility rules, agency guidelines, and availability of funds. So availability of funds pa rin, Mr. President, per medical assistance program of each government agency. So for proxy computation, the estimated government exposure may be expressed as, so estimated government exposure, kaya ba nating ipakita ito on the screen? Equals number of qualified cases times average residual unpaid balance times assumed approval or payment rate. Teka, saan nawala yung aking... Sandali lang po, Mr. President. Okay. So yung estimated government exposure equals number of qualified cases times average residual unpaid balance times assumed approval or payment rate, where number of qualified cases refers to the assumed number of indigent or financially incapacitated patients, cases that may be endorsed for government medical assistance. In the absence of a national hospital detention data set na tinanong kanina ni Senator Joel, dahil wala po tayong ganyang data set talaga na kompleto ng cases of hospital detention, yung PhilHealth indigent or NHTS PR claims may be used as a narrow proxy. So proxy lang siya, Mr. President, while all indirect contributor claims may be used as a broader stress test proxy. Yung average residual unpaid balance refers to the assumed unpaid amount remaining after PhilHealth, discounts, patient payments, coverage of HMOs, charitable deductions, and other benefits have been applied. And assumed approval or payment rate refers to the portion of endorsed cases that government assistance programs can actually cover, subject to eligibility, agency guidelines, and always availability of funds. So ito, Mr. President, pinepresenta ko lang itong proxy bilang fiscal risk scenario. Hindi po ito official cost estimate talaga. At ipinapakita pa rin ito na importante itong bill bilang primarily anti-detention measure. Hindi po talaga siya automatic government guarantee para sa lahat ng unpaid private hospital bills. Okay, kung gagamitin natin yung NHTS, yung PhilHealth 2024 indigent claims, ang volume po nun ayon sa PIDS ay mga 2.07 million claims. Again, narrow proxy ito. And assume natin for stress testing purposes, 100% approval o payment rate na hindi nangyayari. A residual unpaid balance of 10,000 pesos per case would imply around 20.7 billion pesos in annual exposure. Kung 25,000 pesos per case ang residual na hindi pa nababayaran sa bill ng mga pasyente, ang exposure ay tataas sa 51.8 billion pesos. At 50,000 per case, the exposure could exceed 100 billion pesos. Pero kung kalahati lang naman ng qualified cases ay ma-approve or mababayaran, yung figures ay makakalahati. So ang exposure would be at around 50 billion pesos. If you will bear with me, Mr. President and Gentle Lady, with more numbers, pero dahil kinrunch po talaga namin yung data ng PIDS, kung i-apply yung test more broadly sa lahat ng indirect contribution claims o around 8.61 million claims, mas lalaki yung exposure. Kung 100% ang payment rate, 10,000 pesos residual unpaid balance per case would imply around 86 billion pesos exposure, while 25,000 pesos per case would imply around 215 billion pesos. Pero again, Mr. President, yung actual exposure ay magdedepende pa sa kung ilang mga kaso ay talagang magka-qualify at aktual na maaprubahan at mababayaran sa ilalim ng rules ng bawat ahensya at available funds niya. So for context pa, Mr. President, yung existing public medical and crisis assistance envelope ay substantial, significant, pero of course limitado. Ang DOH MAIFIP ay mga 51.6 billion pesos para sa taong 2026. DSWD-AX ay mga 63.9 billion pesos at yung medical assistance ng PCSO, although noong 2024 amounted to mga 3.27 billion pesos for 330,023 beneficiaries or roughly 9,900 per beneficiary. And again, kahit paulit-ulit po, Mr. President, importanteng bigyan ko ng diin, hindi po ito official cost estimates dahil ang PhilHealth claims ay hindi pareho ng unique detained patients. Hindi lahat ng napapakinabangan ang PhilHealth coverage ay nade-detain. Hindi lahat ng claims involve unpaid balances. May mga claims na nababayaran naman, walang unpaid balances. Hindi lahat ay private hospital cases. At hindi lahat ay magka-qualify para sa government guarantee letters. Proxy scenarios lamang po ito na magpapakita o pinapakita ang fiscal risk kung ma-misinterpret natin ang measure bilang full government guarantee. Dahil hindi po full government guarantee itong bill. Itong bill ay primarily anti-detention. Pero sinasabi pa rin natin, ina-uphold pa rin natin, pagkatapos anumang mabayaran ng pasyente at pamilya niya, pagkatapos may coverage ng alinmang medical assistance program o mga medical assistance programs ng government agency or agencies, kapag ka may balanse pa rin, obligasyon pa rin ng pasyente at pamilya, collectible pa rin on the part of the hospital. So, bilang suma sa pag-numbers crunch namin sa datos ng PIDS, yung safe fiscal position ay malinaw pa rin, Mr. President, dahil walang automatic full guarantee, walang automatic zero balance billing, at wala ring automatic extinguishing ng hospital debt. Ang anumang guarantee letter o assistance nananatiling subject sa eligibility, guidelines, approval, at available funds. So, muli, I cannot stress enough, ang pinagbabawal ng panukala natin ay detention. Hindi niya po pinagbabawal ang lawful collection.
Ano silbi niyan? Ano mangyayari doon sa mga hindi pwedeng, so pagka walang pambayad, okay lang na lumabas? Wala na, hindi na pwedeng i-detain eh. Magkakaproblema Magkakaproblema ang hospital. So, ano gagawin natin?
Mr. President.
Alam ko na, kumuha tayo ng guarantee letter kay Congressman. Palakpakan. Joke lang, ayaw na daw ho nila yan. Pero itong panukala, siya kukuha ng pera. Pambihira.
Thank you for that lengthy and quite exhaustive discussion
Pilit na
to the
pilit,
sponsor. We appreciate that she went she gave us a lot of numbers which I've never seen, no? I've never seen these numbers. What we've seen are the PIDS, the PIDS numbers. But nevertheless, malalaki, the bottom line is malaki ho ang gastos. And I agree with Her Honor that this bill never intended to be a government guarantee. Hindi nga. The only reason for Her Honor's information, for the sponsor's information, that we kept on bringing back yung magkano ang babayaran ng gobyerno because ang private hospital, yun yung aasahan niya. I mean, that's... Okay, I'll go back. If you recall, na-announce nga na may zero balance billing. So at first, akala ng lahat covered yon, no? Lahat ng tao, akala nila kahit saan sila hospital pupunta, covered. Then DOH clarified, hindi, covered lang ang zero balance billing ng DOH hospitals and specialty hospitals. So pag doon ka pumunta, wala kang babayaran, government ang magbabayad nun. Clear naman po tayo doon, Madam Sponsor, di ba?
Yes, Mr. President.
Na yon. So at least yun pa nga, whether indigent ka pa nga o hindi, wala nang problema, right? Do we understand each other? Walang problema.
Under the zero balance billing system, Mr.
Under the zero
President.
balance. So kaya nga sabi ko earlier, yung utopian if we look at it in the best possible scenario, in a utopian world, if all the hospitals and health centers were zero balance billing, I guess we don't even need this law. Is that correct? Tama?
Well, actually, that utopian world, Mr. President, was already contemplated in part by the original law. Dahil sinubukan na, even in the original law, siguruhin na no one would be detained. It's just that in the past years ng implementation, nakita natin yung kahirapan ng implementation to the point na, gaya ng pinut on the record namin ni Senator Joel, marami-rami pa rin horror stories na gusto sanang mapigilan ng original law at gusto nating mas ma-realize ngayon through this amendatory bill.
So
Mr.
kaya nga, so
President.
malayo pa tayo dun sa yung utopian version ng zero balance billing kasi nga
Pero kasi pagka i-report nila, Senator, yung panukala na yan zero balance billing. Di ba parang ganun ang datingan? Hindi naman pala, manghihingi din pala ng guarantee letter kay Congressman.
there is a balance to be paid and hanggat hindi nababayaran yon, ang tendency ng ospital if we did not pass this law, the original law, and if we don't improve on it, is naghahanap ng way yung hospital to get paid. And one way that they feel that they can get paid is that they somehow find a way to go around the existing law to, if not detain the person, detain the kamag-anak, detain the personal properties. Yun yung situation natin, no? Correct? We understand each other on that.
We understand each other, Mr. President. And again, part of the situation, this is not a zero balance billing law. This actually provides for non-detention of patients and families, even outside the ZBB system, by putting into play whatever limited or absent resources of the patient and family. Tapos yung iba't ibang medical assistance programs ng mga government agencies, apart pa po from the zero balance billing system. And then again, yung balances na obligasyon pa rin ng pasyente at pamilya at collectible pa rin on the part of the hospitals, Mr. President.
But the reality, Madam Sponsor, Mr. President, is yung indigent patient and even those who are financially capable, what is financially capable? It would appear, and it's not defined here, no? I'm not aware that we define that, but if you have a medical bill in minimum wage, you're a minimum wage earner, you are financially capable probably to feed your family. Kung dalawa kayong minimum wage earner sa family, kasi the numbers that we have to feed a family of 4 already exceeds the income of a minimum wage earner. So I don't know if we want to define what is a financially capable person, but my point is, kahit na may konti kang kakayanan, lagpas pa sa minimum wage, kahit dalawa pa kayo nagmi-minimum wage, pag tinamaan ka ng matinding sakit, kakapusin ka. Yun
Right.
talaga yun. Yun talaga.
Yung hospital, paunang gastos pa lang yun. Yung pagdating sa recovery, gamutan, rehabilitation, kung pilay yan, o kung ano pa man, mula dun sa pagkaka-hospital hanggang pag-uwi sa bahay, malaki ho talaga problema natin pagdating sa healthcare dito sa bansa na to. Ano dahilan? Ninanakaw nila pondo, ilalagay sa maleta eh. Di ba, Sen Pia? Pambihira.
Talaga yun, kakapusin ka. Magkaroon ng heart disease, magkaroon ng prolonged stay because of pneumonia. And one of the reasons for that is that hindi pa na-implement ng PhilHealth ang DRG. Ang DRG is the diagnosis-related groups, which means, for example, sa isang sakit na katulad ng pneumonia, imbis na 1 or 2 lang yung category, o 20,000, tapos na yan, bayad ka na. They divide it into groups such that meron kang slight pneumonia, severe, serious, life-threatening pneumonia, so that the bill would be covered even if it's in the hundreds of thousands. We don't have that yet. So for now, pag binayaran ka, babayaran ka lang ng kung ano yung minimum, no? And that is why, in that sense, there will be a balance left because ang babayaran lang ng PhilHealth is yung maliit na amount that was computed many years ago, and it's below what it cost the hospital to it is way below the amount na ginastos ng hospital to treat the patient. So brings us back to the main point. Ang point po natin is PIDS gave us figures in the billions. Her Honor also gave us figures. I tried to jot down. Sabi niya kung 50,000 per case, abutin tayo ng 100 billion pesos. Pagkakalahati lang nun, abutin pa rin tayo ng 50 billion. Then meron din siyang computation na pag 25,000 pesos per case, abutin tayo ng 215 billion. I was just jotting notes from Her Honor's statement earlier. The point is this. For 2026, the balance provided for DOH hospitals zero balance billing is just 64.97 billion. 64 billion for DOH hospitals lang. So yung point ko lang naman po is all the other hospitals, and I already mentioned that there are 1,000 plus hospitals, less than 100 or less than 10% have a zero balance policy. So for the remaining 900 plus hospitals, may balanse talaga dyan. Yung iba, katulad naman tama yung sinabi ng sponsor natin, makakabayad. Hindi naman ibig sabihin ng lahat na yon magiging issue itong hospital detention. Kasi yung iba dyan, sa PhilHealth pa lang, bayad na. Pero kadalasan, because we have the numbers also, ang nababayaran ng PhilHealth is on average 30% of the bill. So Her Honor mentioned the different mechanisms to further complete the payment. It could be government intervention, yung personal din na ilalabas ng pasyente at ng mga kamag-anak. So lahat naman yun possibility. So there's a percentage of patients who will not need to avail of this no hospital detention bill. But there will be those that need to avail of it. And the question is, who will pay their balance? Again, Her Honor clarified that this bill does not say it is automatically government. I agree po. Pero the point is there is a bill. And sino ang magbabayad? So from the start, ang sinasabi lang natin is we are concerned for the private hospitals that would be left with the bill. And I just want to put on record, hindi ako mag-o-object or anything because we have the same purpose. I simply want to put on record na sinabi na ng mga private hospitals, I have a letter from them saying that they will be They would be very concerned. It is from the Private Hospitals Association of the Philippines. Very concerned po sila, especially for the small and medium-sized facilities who would bear more of the uncompensated care. So yun lang naman yung concern nila. So, can government step in? Yes, government can step in. I will put on record again the numbers that you have heard me say. It is not new. There is 292 billion. So this is 1/3 of a trillion unappropriated and unreleased funds for PhilHealth. Ito po ay na-earmark na natin sa Syntax Law. Over the years, this amounts to 292.33. So even if I were to use her honor's figures of 25,000 per case, 215 billion, o di covered ang isang taon. If I use a lower number, baka covered ang 2 taon, 3 taon, 4 na taon, 5 taon. The point is that I'm trying to make, and this is not the problem of the sponsor right now with this bill, is that meron naman kahit papanong pondo pang pagkukunan kung sana naririlisan tayo. Si DBM Secretary, Acting Secretary, nandiyan dyan kanina, sabi ko nga kay Senate President, ay sana nakausap natin, na-present natin yung matagal ng utang ng DBM sa pondo para sa PhilHealth na gastusin natin. I will just break this down for everyone's sake, Your Honor. 292.33 billion pesos is unappropriated and unreleased, and the breakdown is as follows. Deficit from Syntax is 113 billion. From PCSO and PAGCOR, 77.46 billion pesos. This is included in the GAA but unreleased 101.43 billion. So 292.33 po ang total niyan. So malaki-laki din yan, sana makakatulong pang gastos. I would also like to add one more point. I mentioned earlier that the zero balance billing for the year 2026 is 64.97 billion. As the Vice Chairman of the Committee on Finance and handling the budget of DOH and PhilHealth, this representation proposed some amendments. The amendments were specifically for the zero balance billings. Ito po ang amendments ko na tawag ng iba, insertion. Bahala na kayo kung anong mas appropriate na term.
Kay Lacson, insertion yan. Diba?
But these amendments, thanks to the Senate President, were accepted because at that time he was the chairman of the Committee on Finance. So the amendments are as follows. 3.3 billion for DOH hospital. So in other words, meron ng budget ZBB for DOH hospitals, pero sa computation ng DOH kulang pa rin. So they gave us the numbers, we presented it, it was approved by the then chairman of the Committee on Finance. 3.3 billion yan, pesos. And then for the regional DOH hospitals, 6 billion. Mas malaki yan kasi nga regional na to eh. So ito yung sa labas ng Metro Manila. 6 billion pesos. And finally, this was the proposal of this representation. It didn't come from DOH, but we proposed it. DOH agreed that it is important, so we proposed it to the chairman of the secretary, to our committee chair, and it was approved, and so it was carried in the GAA. 1 billion pilot for LGU hospitals. Kasi nga, nakakaawa yung mga LGU dahil sila din yung pinupuntahan ng mga pasyente na expected nila may zero balance, yung pala hindi covered. Mali ito kinumpute natin, kaya lang kasi yung capacity na i-approve yan ng chairman ng finance, alam ko hindi na siya makakahanap ng pondo beyond 1 billion. So 1 billion na muna kasi pilot lang naman. So this is a total of a little bit over 10 billion that we added to the zero balance building. Anyway, dear colleagues, I'm just putting this all in record.
Specialty
Please go ahead.
hospitals. We also
DOH
had
and specialty.
specialty hospitals, about 3 billion plus. for the different specialty hospitals. 1 billion each.
1 billion each.
Yeah,
your
1 billion
memory,
each.
your
Yeah.
memory is unparalleled, Mr. President. You are absolutely correct. 1 billion for each specialty hospital. So we do what we can, no? And so, like I said, I have no objection. I'm just putting this on record, and I hope that we can remain vigilant and open to the concerns that may be raised by the private hospitals later on, because ang problema kasi natin sila yung sasalo ng issue na to eh. Sila ho yung kailangan sumunod sa batas. So, mindful po tayo na maraming nagsasabing, ang gaganda nga ng batas na pinapasa nyo, hindi naman kayo yung mag-i-implement. Ang mag-i-implement, in this case, is the private hospitals, the LGU hospitals, the private, not even hospitals, but yung mga katulad nung panganakan, marami yan. So let's be mindful of that and the challenges that they might be confronted with. Because in the end of the day, we all agree that we want a strong anti-hospital detention law. And I thank the sponsor for shepherding this bill. But yun nga, with a clear request that we continue our oversight on the implementation of this soon-to-be law. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Madam Sponsor.
Thank you also to the gentle
Kala ko pa naman. Dito sa naging sagutan na to, talagang bibitaw ng malupitan nito si Senator Risa. Wala naman palang
lady
bitaw.
from Taguig and Pateros. I commit to all the colleagues, especially the gentle lady, that of course, dahil yung mga hospital, especially the private hospitals sa ating service delivery network, which is one of our pillars sa universal healthcare system. Of course, the Senate and especially our Committee on Health are also looking to continue to pass laws to assist them to operate maximally and optimally. Well taken yung pinuto on record ng gentle lady na concern ng PHAP. I'm sure even the member hospitals of PHAP, ayaw naman nila na sila yung magiging site ng hospital detention. So we will be counting on their participation dun sa finally makakraft nating panukalang batas, which clearly recognizes yung karapatan ng mga ospital na kolektahin yung mga tamang bill na naikikwenta. Kaugnay rin ng amendment kanina galing kay Senator Joel on bill transparency. And then again, as both the gentle lady and I have recognized, unang magbabayad kung may kaya kahit maliit, yung pasyente at pamilya, then the different medical assistance programs of the different government agencies will come into play according to each of their own rules. Kung magka-qualify o hindi yung pasyente at pamilya. And in the end, kung may balanse, then it remains the obligation of the patient and family, collectible by the hospital. Yung ibang reforms na pinoint out ng gentle lady, for example, yung pagbabalik ng national government, pagbayad niya ng utang niya sa PhilHealth. I join her 100% in that with all the health advocates here in the Senate. At yung patuloy na pag-modernize, pag-reform ng PhilHealth system, including yung pag-shift na yon sa DRG. But in the end, Mr. President, yung original dream, I wouldn't even say it's utopian, pero yung original humanistic dream nung kasalukuyang batas, which was shepherded in her time by the gentle lady, na mawaksina sa karanasan natin ang hospital detention.
Pero hindi zero hospital billing ha. Kasi iba yun eh. Misleading na naman yun eh. Parang 20 pesos na bigas. Parang independent foreign policy. Parang ganun yun eh. Phobia na ba? Phobia.
The lessons we've learned in the past decades of very difficult implementation on the part of DOH sa pamamagitan nitong panukalang batas, precisely we are trying ma-achieve na yung pangarap na iyon. And after all, kapag hindi ma-detain yung pasyente at pamilya niya, if they can go back to family life, work, studies, mas magiging resilient sila if and when the next medical emergency comes around. And they can participate more fully in generating and paying back yung resources na kailangan kung meron pa rin silang pagkakautang na sana hindi na kailangan panghabulin ng ospital through civil proceedings, Mr. President. Apologies again, Mr. President. There is one proposed committee amendment that I failed to make of record and accept on the record, Mr. President. And this comes from the Senate President himself. In the same section, after the amendment of Senator Villanueva, to insert this following phrase: the DOH shall act on complaints and grievances received through their patient grievance and redress mechanism within 5 working days from receipt thereof. Failure of the responsible public official or employee to act on any complaint within the prescribed period shall constitute simple neglect of duty, subject to the filing of the appropriate administrative action based on prevailing Civil Service Commission rules and regulations, provided that in cases where the cause of delay is due to force majeure or other analogous circumstances, the prescribed period mandated herein shall be suspended and appropriate adjustments shall be made, provided further that in such cases of justifiable delay, the responsible public official or employee shall notify the complainant of the reason for the delay and the adjusted period to act on the complaint. For the record, Mr. President, the said proposed amendment imposes a stricter time-bound obligation on the Department of Health to resolve complaints involving unlawful patient detention. And therefore, subject to style, Mr. President, I accept the proposed amendment.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the amendment is approved.
And Mr. President, there is one more proposed amendment that this representation will await, hopefully within the day, from Senator Raffy.
Just to, before we close the period of amendment today, let me just express my opinion on the discussions between Senator Pia and Senator Risa. I do share the thoughts of Senator Pia that it's not the intention to give difficulty to the private hospitals in terms of their operation. Katulad po ng mga private schools, mga private hospitals, partner rin ng gobyerno sa pagbibigay ng hospital services. And pero kami rin po sa Valenzuela, naging biktima rin kami ng palit-ulo scheme. In fact, merong kaming constituent sa Valenzuela na hindi pinalabas, ang pinalit ay relative nilang i-detain. So I support the intentions of the bill na hindi pwedeng magkaroon ng palit-ulo, hindi rin.
Kumusta na lang yan yung mga hospital? Saan kukuha yan? Diba, paano kung bill niya may higit sa 1 milyon? Hindi mo na pwedeng kulong kasi magkakaproblema hospital mo, di ba?
Pwedeng i-detain yung mga pasyente. Lalo na kung may mga pasyenteng hirap na hirap at marami rin pasyente na pag may sakit yung kanilang relative, nagpapanik sila at under stress. No? At hindi pwedeng i-take advantage rin ng mga hospitals yung ganong na situation. And it's good to note na ang gobyerno naman may kapasidad na tumulong sa mga hospitals. Nasabi na ito ni Senator Pia kanina, but ulitin ko lang. Ang MAIP ay merong 51 billion in the 2026 GAA. At ang intention talaga ng MAIP is to support the private hospitals. Alam natin na ang PhilHealth kaya lang up to 30 to 40%, depende pa sa sakit. Yung balance, dito pumapasok yung medical assistance. At of course, yung AICS, ito yung assistance na binibigay sa mga constituents natin. For 2026 budget, about 63 billion. So itong dalawang funds, no, pwedeng magamit ng mga private hospitals para mabayaran sila. No? So
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Senator Risa, for
President,
yes, Senator
just a quick statement for the information of the body. Yung mga recommendations ng minority group for MyFIP and AICS have been suspended.
Nako.
Pag may lumalapit sa amin na pasyente, hindi na kami pwedeng sinabi sa website ng DOH at DSWD, hindi napapansinin yung recommendation namin. So for the body's information and for the information of the Senate President. So like in my case, for over a decade, ang daming pumupunta sa akin, humihingi ng tulong. And just in the last few months, this has been weaponized against us. In the case of Senator Amy and Senator
Pasensya na ho, madam kasi mga bangag na sila.
Bongo, years na yata. I'm just saying, Mr. President, for the record. So sa akin lang naman po, kung ang ibang kasamahan natin pwede namang makatulong sa mga kababayan, bakit yung iba sa amin hindi pwedeng mag-recommend? Hindi na ho ba kami marunong mag-recommend? Yung mga lumalapit ba sa amin are less of Filipino citizens? Yun lang naman po sa akin. Kasi sobra akong na-shock na nagkagano na tayo eh. I hope the Senate President can do something about this. In fairness, napakabait sa akin nung inyong kapatid. I think nakita naman niya yung magandang loob ko nung dinefend ko yung kanyang budget. So it's not on him. I don't know kung saan nanggagaling ang utos na yan.
Yes, well,
Kung sa adik sa Malacanang, yung adik.
but ang Senate naman is recommendatory. Of course, we just recommend, and we'll look into this
Mr. President,
matter.
we've done it before during my time as Senate President, also Senator Cheese's time as Senate President, and also Senator Soto, as a matter of fact. He had put funds here in the Action Center for the senators, regardless of political color, Mr. President. Let's allow we definitely should give a budget to that. And whoever senator requests for assistance for the patients that go, hindi talaga mawawala, Mr. President. Meron talaga pasyente pumupunta sa amin. Sana dito na sa Senado,
Yes, meron
pwede
tayong-
nating tulungan, regardless of political color, Mr. President.
Meron tayong Public Assistance Center
Yeah.
na pwedeng lumapit yung ating mga constituents to
Yabang ni Miggy. Yeah.
ask for help. At galing yan sa institution as recommendation, no? Dahil nagre-recommend tayo sa mga different executive agencies. So we'll look into that also, and we'll revive that concept. Maganda yung concept because Senate as an institution ang tumutulong.
Tsaka fair yung Senate President, Mr. President, fair yung Senate President natin na yun, regardless
Yes.
of political color or
Fair
affiliation.
naman.
Di totoo yan. Ayun na nga, nagkakabola kayo na lang nagbobolahan po. Pambihira naman. Ayun na nga, maraming salamat po sa support sa page update. Mag-ingat po kayo lahat ng Pilipinas.